Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer. You know, earlier today a girl said she recognized me from the vegetarian meeting, but I've never met her before. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Dune, House Secrets from Portal Games. Hello everybody, we'll get back to the review in just a second. I just want to take a moment to ask you to go ahead and check out and subscribe to my other channel, that is Cody Carlson PhD, where we talk about military history and books on history and fun things like that. Please check that out, please subscribe, and now, back to the review. In Dune, House Secret from Portal Games, up to 4 players attempt to solve a mystery surrounding the planet Arrakis, the Atreides, and the evil Harkonnen. This game is based on the detective game system from Portal Games, of course, where it's all about investigation. I'm not going to get too much into how this game works because I don't want to give away any spoilers. It is a mystery you are trying to solve, so let's go ahead and see what I think. Now, the basics of the game are you and your friends are trying to solve this mystery over the course of 4 missions, a prologue and then 3 chapters. Now, you have maps of Arrakis and cities in Arrakis. You have various investigation cards. You have asset cards. You have your own player cards. And you also have kind of a track that acts as kind of a timer and also keeps track of some other things as the game progresses. Now, essentially, you have kind of a mission card for each of the chapters in the prologue. You read through it. It gives you some basic information. Then it gives you some choices about different investigation cards you can look at immediately. So you can go ahead and you look at those investigation cards, and then you can sometimes flip it over to read more that will give you some other options or give you some other instructions, tell you something to do. And you've got choices here on how you are going to progress the story. You've also got various assets that pop up. Assets are kind of little square cards that, again, tell you various things that you can do or give you some options in the investigation deck. So you're always kind of learning a little bit more about the story, a little bit more about the puzzle that's going on. Now, some of these choices may require you to spend certain items, certain resources. You each have a number of resources depending on who you're playing. You have like war and water and spice and the different resources that you have to spend in order to activate certain things. For instance, if you want to bribe somebody, it's good to have some resources that you can bribe them with, or different little things that are going to trigger based off of the resources that you spend. Now, if you're playing a game with less than 4 players, you actually have an advocate. Those other characters become advocates that then can still help you in the game, even though they're not actively participating in it. Now, the game also has film books. Essentially, you're using some app integration in this game. You're looking at apps. You're going to the Portal website. You are checking out various texts and different things that you're collecting, so you can go back and you can refer to those things. It's also recommended you have somebody with a pen and a paper who can keep notes on your adventures and things you might think will be important as the game progresses. So, you and your friends are going around, you are doing these various investigations, gaining assets, looking at places on the map, and trying to figure out what happened. So if you guys can go ahead and do that, then you will experience Dune, House Secrets. Now, that was important what I just said there. I said you will experience Dune House Secrets, not that you will win House Secrets, because the game, the rule book, rather, actually says there are no winners and losers. It's about the story. Which begs a very important question. Is Dune House Secrets a game or is it an activity? Now, I played games before that I didn't really consider to be games, and I considered them to be activities. And some of them were very fun. Some of them I had fun with. But it's something I'm very conscious of, because when I play a game, I like there to be victory. I like there to be these things. Now, there's Again, I can't give too much away, and there's some twists and turns and some things that happen. But fundamentally, this is not really a game, in my opinion. It is an activity. So that's the first point I want to make here. Now, I had not played the detective game, so this is my first introduction to this kind of game. And as I'm playing it, or experiencing it, it's very interesting. It's very interesting how you go ahead and you are trying to learn exactly what the story is. You're trying to uncover the story. It's almost like your group is reading collectively a choose your own adventure book. It's very much what it felt like in a lot of ways. Because of that, this is a game that really is all about reading and listening. And you're sitting around, and every time somebody takes a turn, you know there's going to be a lot of reading, and that's what it is. It's not, a die roll or just playing cards or anything like that. It's really about reading and listening. Now, I personally enjoy that. I don't know that it's for everyone. I think if you saw this in a store, had no idea what it was, you're thinking, oh, a fun Dune board game, and then you take it, you play it at home, you might be a little disappointed because you don't really understand what the experience is that they're going for here. I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. Again, I don't think it's a game. I think it's an activity, but it's a fun activity. Now, another important caveat here. As we played the game, myself, George, and Holly were all familiar with Dune. George and Holly had, I think, seen the movies. I think they've read some of the books. I've read all the books. I've seen all the movies. I know the Dune universe fairly well. And I really got into that aspect. It's a very immersive aspect here. Duffy had not. He had not seen any of the movies. He had not read any of the books. And he was a little, So this is really a game for Dune enthusiasts. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you have to read all the books and everything. But if you have to at least have seen the movie, right, or a movie, to give you some context. Because if you don't have that context, I don't think this game is going to be very fun for you. I don't think Duffy was impressed with this game at all because of that reason. But I think he might enjoy, a more generic story like the original Detective or something like that. So I'm taking all these factors and I'm putting them together, and I'm going to say try it before you buy it. Now, that too is kind of a weird thing to say, because this is a game that I don't know there's a lot of replay value here. It's a game where it's a game where once you've played it, it's kind of played. I mean, you do have some stickers that you place on some of your characters to give them, abilities and what have you. But at the same time, I don't think you're going to go back and play through these games. You may be able to gift it to somebody else, in which case I guess, I don't know, they'd have to ignore the stickers or something. But I don't see this as a game with a very high replay value beyond the 4 missions. So how can I say try it before you buy it in that context? So what I will say here is, I guess what I'm going for is, if you like Dune, if you're familiar with Dune, and you don't mind that it's not a game, that it is more of an activity, and you don't mind this kind of story, reading, and listening element to the game, I'm going to say buy it. But I can't say buy it for everyone because of those caveats. So this is a soft buy it recommendation. It's a buy it for a very kind of, I shouldn't say very specific, but a somewhat specific audience here. This is not a buy it recommendation for everyone. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave a comment for us on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We'd ask you to please like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. I'd also ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to please check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history and books on history and fun things like that. Please check it out, please subscribe, and please give a thumb to this video on Board Game Geek. That helps us out a lot as well. Ladies and gentlemen, people that can't distinguish between entomology and etymology bug me in a way I can't put into words. Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band. All right, so now you need to get number 6. Which in German is sex.